Hello, Lobo fans. Welcome into your Lobo Coaches Show. I'm your host, Robert Portnoy, with head football coach at UNM, Danny Gonzales. Coach G, it's nice to be with you. And news broke on Sunday this week that you've decided to make a change in your coaching staff coming off the loss this past weekend to Wyoming. The decision to make a move at the offensive coordinator position.
I did. As you evaluate the program, I have to decide what's best for the future of our program. And I thought we had some things that needed to be changed. It's hard because there's families involved, there's kids involved, but the ultimate deal is the program is the most important. And I felt for us to have a chance to be successful, we needed to make a change in that position.
Play calling, adjustments, things like that within the game?
There's a big factor in everything. And that was a portion of it. The last 2 weeks we played really well early and should be able to sustain that through 4 quarters. And you're not going to take every drive, and not every drive is going to be a touchdown because people make adjustments, but you've got to adjust as well. And we've got to give our kids a better chance to be successful. And I thought the last 2 weeks it was evident that we needed to do something.
You think back to the win over UTEP. Similarly, that one played out on the offensive side. You still won, but better early than late.
Very similar. And give UTEP credit, they're a really good football team. They played, obviously they beat up Boise pretty good a couple weeks later. But we had opportunities to score 30 to 40 points in that game, and we weren't able to come through. The defense gave the offense the ball in some great field position during that game, and we didn't come away with many points. Now, we did against UNLV. We started out early against Wyoming, but we just need to be more consistent to give our team the best chance to be successful.
So with Derek Wareheim no longer the offensive coordinator for the New Mexico Lobos, a man who was coaching Cleveland High School just a year ago, and you gave him an opportunity as your quarterback's coach, he's going to be your new offensive coordinator.
As I was going through the possibility of making a change, if it was something that needed to be done, obviously we have some really good coaches on our staff, and I think Heath does some really good things. I've watched more Cleveland High School offensive football in the last 2 weeks than probably a coach evaluating tape should. But I wanted to see how he set things up with what he did with the guys that he had. And Heath was a triple option quarterback in high school, so he has a good feel for the option game, experience running it. So as he's coaching those guys and teaching those guys and calling it, he has a good feel for what he did 20 years ago.
So Heath Ridenour will be the interim offensive coordinator for the Lobos. In terms of what he likes to do, what does he bring to the table?
Well, we'll set some things up. Now, we're making a change, and you can't put a ton of pressure on Heath to come in and be a miracle worker. We've got some tools on offense. Obviously, you've seen what we've been able to do with the first quarter in the last 2 games. We just need more consistency in that. And we met yesterday for an extensive amount of time to come up with some ideas on stuff that we can do.
All right, the Lobos and Wyoming. It was Heroes Day, brought to you by Chase Bank at University Stadium. The Lobos got a fast start. We look at first half highlights next. We're back on your Lobo Coaches Show with the head football coach at New Mexico, Danny Gonzales. I'm Robert Portnoy, and Coach G, it's time to get into first half highlights of the Lobos in Wyoming at University Stadium, and it was another fast start for New Mexico.
It was. Coach Linsmeyer's done a really good job with this offensive line, getting them gelling together and communicating. And we've had some gigantic holes in the first couple weeks early. We need to continue that. I thought Miles did a nice job. We ran the quarterback draw a couple times. It's off of a fly sweep motion, and it's been very successful. Bobby Wooten had some good carries early on, got a little banged up at halftime, wasn't able to finish the game. Hopefully he'll be available this week. We'll see. But we did, we're getting some massive push up there. If 2nd and 4 is easy to call plays. 2nd and 10 is really hard. Here's another draw on a 3rd down that Miles was able to use his feet to get the first down.
Yeah, the run game was terrific here early on. Nate Jones did some phenomenal work. And about as good as the run game has looked in any individual quarter this season?
It was. That was a 4th down conversion right there. We had a lot of mixed up right here. Here's the wide receiver screen for another first down by Bobby. Really good job getting vertical. And then that's a really nice run by Jaden Hullaby. Physical, getting downhill. That's what we want. And this was a nice job right here. If Miles pitches this ball, Nate's going to walk in. But good for Miles. Gave a little twitch right there and got himself in the end zone.
Boy, he sticks his foot in the ground, then he has to turn his back to the goal line, keeps his balance. That's pretty athletic right there.
Really, really nice play. We're up 7-0. That was an 8-minute drive to start the game. That's outstanding. And then we come out, we get a 3 and out on defense. They were going to try and establish the run. Now, they had a little bit more success running the ball than I liked, but our guys did a nice job. We got to him. We dropped an interception right here by AJ. That's going to have an opportunity to give us the ball at the 50-yard line. We just dropped it.
And A.J. Halsey continuing to do a nice job filling in at that Lobo backer position for Tavian Combs.
There's Justin Holiday right there. I mean, nice job. Did a good job reading the option right there. We could have done some more with that. I mean, here's the poke play for Nate Jones getting vertical, and there you go. First down to get 12 yards. I mean, we were having success early to give us the 14-0 lead. I mean, this was a really nice corner route by Andrew. Nice job by Miles sitting in the pocket and throwing it right before he got hit, and then Andrew Erickson makes a great catch down there to the 10-yard line.
And here's Justin Holiday, again, designed quarterback draw, and there he goes, his first career touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good run, a little bit patient. If he's a little bit more patient, it's going to be even easier. He'll have 2 holes, but did a nice job blocking up front, and then Justin did a good job of seeing where the hole was to get to the end zone.
And he shows his size right there at the finish, finishing off that run.
You know, he's 6'4", he's over 200 pounds. Really nice play right there by A.J. Halsey again. I mean, we got some guys that are going to be some pretty good DBs over the next couple of years. That was unnecessary by Ronald. The first one was okay by Cy, but Ronald didn't need to do that. Really nice job right there, peeling by Sire Riley. And then look at the amount of gray shirts we got running over there to the ball.
It was tough sledding. I thought the defense looked terrific early on, and you are doing a lot of things in terms of variety early on offense.
We did. We had some fly sweeps, though, and we could do it right there to Bobby Wood and then flat. Got a first down right here by Nate Jones, a little back out of the backfield. Nice job by Miles getting him the ball. I mean, we were having success. We just need to continue upon it.
This one was fascinating, I thought, because you don't see it open up like that up the sideline to the short side of the field like that too often.
You know, Wyoming's big and strong up front. They did a nice job of getting us out leveraged out there. There's a really nice play by A.J. Halsey, man. That's Jarek Reed out there on the corner. Some of that stuff happens a little bit faster than you're expecting when you're out there for the first time, but that was a really nice job by A.J. coming over and knocking the ball out. Too bad it went out of bounds.
You mentioned Jarek Reed playing corner, and obviously that meant that there were some guys in different spots on the field in this game.
There were. Jamarius Lewis got the start. Here's the touchdown by A.J. A.J. does a nice job. Look, he's got him covered. He thinks the guy's not going to throw it because he's all over him, so he relaxes and turns to look at the quarterback, and in that instant, Andrew Peasley put the ball right over his head. That was a 3rd and 10 with an opportunity to get off the field and get our offensive ball back. Instead, it's a 47-yard touchdown for the Cowboys. And then Nate Jones with a decent return, but we got to take care of the football. We can't lay it on the ground like that. It's a good job, heads up by Zach Morris to make that play.
Okay, and here you get a little sprint out, a roll out, and a nice completion on the near sideline.
But we didn't do anything with it. I mean, this was a nice job by Cy getting off a block and getting Andrew Peasley for a 2-yard gain on a quarterback RPO right there where he pulled it. And then we were able to get decent pressure. It was a good job by Kyler getting out of the pocket, forces an incomplete pass. I mean, we were able to get off the field in the first half, all but the 1 touchdown.
A lot of time here for Miles, but then it ends up being a coverage sack.
You know, I thought our O-line did a great job protecting. We got to win some one-on-one battles, and we got to give those guys some opportunities to get open at the same time. I thought Miles did a really nice job evading some of the pressure when we did let a guy leak through. Now, they ended up with 4 sacks, maybe 5 sacks on the night, but we were able to escape some of those because the O-line did a good job with protection.
That was A.J. Odoms there on a corner fire, just completely blowing that thing up, and then here comes the cavalry.
Good job. I mean, good job getting in the backfield, not running by it, and making a play. Here we go down there. I mean, this was a really nice job by Ronald Wilson coming over. A.J. was in coverage. Ronald came all the way across as the free safety and knocked the ball out. I mean, we did a good job of getting off the field against Wyoming. How about this one? Elijah Queen, who I've been speaking of a lot lately. I mean, he's got an opportunity to really help us, and we can do some things to get him involved in the offense. This was right before halftime. We did a nice job of getting the ball down in field goal position. There's Elijah Queen again with the first down. We got an opportunity to get up by 10. We just need to convert these.
I think it's wonderful to see the work that Queen did in this game from the tight end position with Trey Spruckler not there now with the shoulder injuries and his season coming to an end. Queen's going to get an opportunity. He started to take advantage.
Yeah. Here was we took one to see if we could catch him sleeping. Not very often are you going to, with a minute to go or under 10 seconds to go in the game or half, have an opportunity to throw a double pass. But we had an easy look at a field goal right there, and George has to bang those through the pipes. It's becoming very concerning. When you're 4 of 10 on field goals, it makes me want to just go for it when we get down there. And later on in the game, we're going to have to make a decision whether we're going to go for it and take the points. We had an opportunity to tie up the ball game and got it blocked because of a low kick. So those decisions are going to weigh in.
Nearly 130 yards rushing in the first half. You have to feel pretty good about the way the offense looked in the first 2 stanzas.
The first 2 drives were great. And then we had opportunities in the last drive right before half. We did some good things to get the ball down in scoring position. We didn't finish. But there was a long lull during the middle of the end of the first quarter through the second quarter where we need to be more productive.
Okay, the Lobos for a second straight week, they have a halftime lead. Second half highlights against Wyoming next. Welcome back into your Lobo Coaches Show with the head football coach at New Mexico, Danny Gonzales. New Mexico and Wyoming were at University Stadium on Saturday. Let's get to second half highlights. The Lobos bring a one-touchdown advantage into the third quarter.
You know, right there, we tried to make an adjustment that would give us a chance to be successful. And sometimes when you do things you haven't practiced, it doesn't work out as well. We didn't run it very well, and they were able to pop a run down the sideline. And then they did a couple of these quarterback sneaks to get first downs that kept the drives going. We had an opportunity right here, and that was unnecessary by Jake. We already had the 15-yard penalty because they had hit us late, and then we gave them a retaliation, and there was a bunch, big-time holding right there that they didn't call. But we've got to be able to make that play in coverage. That actually wasn't AJ's guy. It was one of the D linemen who let him go, and AJ tried to recover for him. But there, all of a sudden, the game was tied 14-14 after the first drive of the second half.
There's a holding call against the offense, and here in the second half, what about the run game, Coach? And there we see a chance for Hullaby up the middle.
You know, we're not very good when we get behind the chains. Not very many teams are good when they get behind the chains. And we were in way too many third and longs to give us a chance to be successful. We were able to get off the field again. I mean, this is a great game. This right here was disappointing. Andrew misjudged this ball, and then just get away from it. If you're going to fall off of it, just get away from it. And that gave Wyoming a ball right there at the 10-yard line. Now the defense came out and did a nice job of holding them to a field goal attempt that they were able to cash in. So it's 17-14 at the end of this. But we got to go out there and catch that punt, give the offense the ball. We had just gotten a stop, and create momentum for ourselves.
One thing we talked about going into this game was the running ability of the quarterback, Peasley. You guys contained him in that department.
You know, the guys did a good job both on the zone read plays and on the quarterback scrambles. We didn't let him get out of the pocket. I think he only had 11 yards rushing on the night, and we did a pretty good job in coverage for the most part. Now, give Wyoming credit right there. Their kicker was able to bang it through the pipes. It's 17-14 with about 7 minutes to go in the third quarter, but we got plenty of time. Here's a nice job by Miles. That was a copy play. We'd actually run the exact same play right before that, and then he called that one with the zone read, pulled it, and got some positive yards. But here we go, 3rd and 5. There's an opportunity right here to go for it on 4th down. We can set the play up, but we miss a block. We get stoned in the backfield, and so now we're punting the ball away.
So if you don't lose yardage on the 3rd down play, maybe in better position to go for it on 4th down?
That was the talk on the headphones. I said, you got 2 downs here if we can get some production right here on 3rd down. So we ran our inside zone and got beat at the line of scrimmage. Disappointing right here that we pulled this ball out and we weren't able to get on it. Now it bounced right back to that lineman. Look, 79 right there does a really good job of falling on it because we had 2 guys that were in position. He just beat us to it.
Unfortunate that everybody that was surrounding the ball carrier probably couldn't see the ball came out. Otherwise, maybe one of them could have got it.
Exactly, but what a play right here by Jamarius Lewis. I mean, this is the same series. We essentially give him the ball back right where we would have recovered the fumble. If he doesn't slip right here, I think he's got a chance to cut back inside and get in the end zone. Too bad, but that's a great job by a true freshman getting down there. And then we have an opportunity right here. I mean, he's got to get rid of that ball. We had the back out in the flat. He could have gotten rid of it early. He was waiting for the progression to come across. We get a holding penalty, so we get it backed up, and then we try and get the quarterback draw. Now, Miles made a great run right here. Almost got the first down. Almost got me to the point where I was ready to go for it. But I thought we can tie the ball game right here, 17-17, and play it out in the 4th quarter. But George kicks the ball too low. They block it, and now they have momentum.
I thought twice now, we've seen it on tape, where Miles Kendrick, his speed to the corner was surprising. He was able to turn the corner a couple times. We hadn't seen that a lot earlier in the year.
We haven't. He's getting more confidence with some of those things. I mean, there was a really nice play by the defense again. Sai got to the quarterback. But look at the protection again right there. We've got to win downfield by our receivers and give them routes they can run. Now, this was disappointing. We had them in 3rd and 4 right here. The end man on the line of scrimmage has the running back man-to-man. If he just widens with him, we're going to sack Andrew Peasley because he's not even going to throw that ball. And then 1st down, not a big deal right here. We're able to keep them out of the end zone. If we don't let them score a touchdown right here and hold them to a field goal, it's still a 1-possession game with a chance to score and take the lead. Now that ball right there, we got kind of lucky. Receiver was not ready for it. Andrew made a great throw and threw it right to the back of the end zone. He did that to us a couple times on Saturday night where we have him in the grasp and he's able to escape. That's just a big-time player making a big-time play right there, but we were able to keep him out of the end zone.
Yeah, Peasley's strength, a couple of times it looked like he was sacked and he was able to keep his feet somehow and avoid it. What about in terms of decisiveness in the reads with your quarterback, Kendrick? You mentioned one of them there when you're in the goal-to-go scenario, or at least down near the goal line, the opportunity where the first look is there, but maybe he's looking for something else?
He did. I mean, he's coached up to find certain things. Sometimes you want to wait, especially down there in the end zone. You've got an opportunity for something to open up. But I thought he had a couple that he could have taken and just run with it right away. We didn't do anything with the ball in that last possession with 8 minutes to go. We were able to get him backed up and get him into another punt situation. We got the ball back for offense. This was a great play by their special team unit. And the ruling is, if you have possession of the ball, I mean, that right there, the throwing it out, that's NFL stuff. But he had possession before he reached the plane of the goal. So it's down there on the 1 yard line. Now, I thought Miles did a nice job here once again scrambling. He got the first down. We get the ball out to around the 30 yard line. And then inconsistency in some of the things we were doing, Miles was going to throw a ball here. I mean, we're out here now to the 30 yard line with an opportunity to get towards midfield. We still have a minute 35. We still have timeouts, all 3 of them left. So we got to take advantage of what is given to us, use a little bit more of certain areas of the field. But this right here was disappointing. I mean, we got an opportunity to move the ball down the field. We do 2-minute drills every single week in practice. We got to be able to execute them better.
That completion there on the out route was to Christian Jourdain. He had a couple of catches in this game, but unfortunately, this game ends in the same way that it did a week ago in Vegas.
It did. I mean, that was Miles was trying to make a play. We had called some similar plays to that, so the corners were being very unaggressive. They were playing over the top so that they don't give up anything big, and then the corners were sitting on some routes, and we threw a little out route right there that they were able to pick for a pick six. That was really disappointing. Now, Justin came in with opportunity to run the 2-minute. I thought this one right here did a nice job getting the ball. The next throw, if he puts a little bit more on it, Deuce is behind the coverage right here. It's going to be a big-time play.
You can see the juice in his arm. I mean, that was a dart that he threw over to the sideline after he avoided the rush. And we also saw his strength, I thought, as well, because it looked like there was one time he was going to be brought down. He escaped. Then in the scramble was able to, pick up positive yards.
He did, I thought, early on with the first triple option play he ran. He broke a tackle. He got about 5 or 6 more yards. He was doing a nice job on the touchdown in the first quarter. And then scrambling around there at the end of the game, he did some really good things because he's a strong kid. He's got a really strong arm. Like I said, the play right before the interception, we got Deuce Jones behind the coverage. I mean, we might be able to sneak one in and then onside kick it and see what happens. So Justin will still continue to get some run. I think we have some packages that make it hard to defend. But Miles is our quarterback, and we're going to keep rolling with him until something else changes if we have to.
So Miles Kendrick continues to be the starter. Justin Holiday, the transfer from Fresno City, will continue to get looks.
He will. He'll continue to get some plays. I think we have some good packages that he can be successful with, that it helps our team be successful. It's hard to prepare for, and plus, you haven't seen Justin throw it other than the final 2 minutes. He's got an arm, and we can do some things along that line too.
All right, we come back after the timeout. We wrap up the loss to Wyoming at University Stadium, and then we look ahead. New Mexico State on the road. That's next on your Lobo Coaches Show. We're back to close out this edition of your Lobo Coaches Show. I'm Robert Portnoy with head football coach at New Mexico, Danny Gonzales. Coach G, so home loss against Wyoming. These last 2 games in the Mountain West, they've looked identical. 2 teams very evenly matched. It comes down to possession at the end in the fourth quarter. Games you led early. The kind of game that you hope your team's able to finish moving forward.
That is a part of learning to win, which is very frustrating. But we have to do a better job coaching-wise to give our kids a chance, because we were doing some really good things offensively in the first quarter of those games that we've got to be able to maintain for 4 quarters and continue to play as we are on defense, continue to get off the field on third down, and continue to outplay people on special teams. Outside of Andrew's missed fumbled punt, I thought we outplayed them on special teams, which gave us a chance to win the game. We can't make that big of a mistake, though, in order to win those games. It's what I said. The last 8 games of the season were going to be very comparable across the board, and the next 6 are going to be the same way. We've got to find a way to make more plays to give us a chance to win.
Washington, White, Porter, Weissong, 4 key players on offense that weren't available this past weekend. Available this weekend?
As of right now, if they meet the expectation of our team and the standard, they'll be there.
Okay, the Lobos travel. It's Aggie Memorial. It's the renewal of the Rio Grande rivalry, New Mexico State and New Mexico. What about this edition of the Aggies under Coach Kill?
Well, he's got them playing really hard. I mean, the overall series is 73-33-5. We've got the advantage, but it's a big game. It's a big rivalry game. It's the biggest game in the state of New Mexico, and both schools have a lot of pride. I made my feelings known last year. I don't need to anymore. It's a big opportunity for both teams. they're going to play really, really hard. If you watch them play in their rivalry game against UTEP in the Battle of I-10, they have a chance to tie the ball game on the very last possession. They just ran out of time. So they'll be fired up. They'll be ready to play. Our kids will be fired up. It's going to be a physical game. Coach Kill is very similar mindset. He wants a very physical football team, and he's doing a great job down there. I mean, over the next few years, it's going to be they're going to build, and it's going to continue to be a great series. So we're excited for the opportunity.
New Mexico State couldn't have two more different quarterbacks. The transfer from Nimi Pavia, and then the big kid, the freshman, Frakes. They're opposites.
You know, Diego Pavia is a Volcano Vista kid. Him and Cody Moon were teammates, so they'll be excited to go against each other. He is a very, very competitive young man. I mean, I really like Diego. I mean, he's an Albuquerque kid. He found himself a home. He's a national champion at Nimi. I mean, did some really good things, and now he's out there to prove that he should have had an opportunity to play here, which is good for him. Gavin Frakes is a big kid who can throw the ball well. He breaks tackles. He's fast. He can run, and they're using both of them very adequately. So we've got a great challenge ahead of us.
What about the way that New Mexico State is playing defense this year under Coach Kill?
I think they're doing a great job. On third down, they're very, very exotic. They might look like us at times. I think they've done a really good job playing and running to the football. They're giving their team a chance to win. If you watch them against Hawaii, they're all over the place. If you watch them against UTEP in the second half, they're all over the place. So they'll be ready for the Lobos, and it's going to be a great football game next week. Well,
Coach Gonzales, we appreciate your time. Thanks so much for being with us. Best of luck against New Mexico State. Big rivalry game at Agnew Memorial. We can't wait.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That'll do it for Frank Bercogliano, Chase Christensen. I'm Robert Portnoy. He's head football coach Danny Gonzales. So long, everybody, and go Lobos.